This is going to be a real heart to heart, and it's going to be difficult for some of you to hear. I don't care if this gets 1 million views or 10. If I can impact one person with what I'm about to say, then that makes it worth it to me. I had to sit down with a friend a few months ago, and this is someone who has always been between jobs, and he always feels like he's down on his luck. And one of the things he said to me is that he felt like he was behind in life. If you get anything from this video, I want you to understand that you are not behind, you are just on a different path. If you spend energy comparing yourself to what other people are doing or wondering what you should be doing, then you don't have enough energy to work on yourself. You are amazing, you are valuable, and you're gonna be okay. You have to believe that. Now, while I was talking to this friend, I started thinking about how I got to where I am in life. Yes, I went to college, I paid out of my own pocket, but college had nothing to do with where I am really. Picking up a camera was kind of just a side hobby that just became a passion of mine that I kept pushing and kept growing in until now. It's my full-time job. I live in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and this is my office right next to Grand Central in Manhattan. And I'm not saying all of this to brag, because the truth is 3 years ago, I was selling timeshare, crying in my car on an hour drive home because I hadn't made money in 2 weeks because I was only working on commission and I didn't know how I was gonna eat. It sucked, but I persevered, and now I'm getting to do something I love every single day. But the fact of the matter is, my friend and I aren't that different. We grew up in the same neighborhood, we had the same friends, we had the same opportunities. I just took different steps than he did. And that's not to say that I'm better or above him in any way, because if you're someone who thinks that at any point in your life, you're a dick. You're not ahead of anyone, nor am I. But there were 5 things that stood out to me in that conversation that I realized I did different than he did, and I want to share that with you. Number 1, focus on growing yourself before focusing on growing your bank account. This is a huge difference between people who are successful and those who are just middle of the pack. And although I don't consider myself uber successful, I did invest the time, invest the money into myself to learn a skill set that I could then turn into my full-time income, versus there are other people in this world who every time they get a check, they're worried about saving. Saving is a good thing if you're saving on stuff like coffee or not going out and drinking with friends. But if it comes down to putting $100 into a savings account versus putting $100 into something that can help you learn and help you grow and help you make more income in the future, always bet on yourself and always invest in yourself. That $100 in the savings account is going to be vastly outweighed in a couple of years if you invest time in yourself. Number 2, be a risk taker. It kind of goes with number 1. Saving is obviously the easier route to go if you're able to do it. But if you can't save, you probably have the time. And if you don't think you have the time to learn how to better yourself, then it's not a priority. I heard a quote once that really stuck with me and that I've carried through my life since, and that is that you make time for the things that matter to you. You have to be a risk taker not only by using money to invest in yourself, but using your time, because you don't know if anything will ever manifest out of the time you put into something, but you also never will find out if you don't try. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and by trying to go all in with a skill, you're risking tons of time to learn it, but you have to believe that it's worth it. Number 3, try everything. I never once thought I'd be making money with a camera. Never. I thought I was going to be doing music. I was head down. This was the only thing I care about. This is the only thing that matters. And if that is who you are, then great. If you can find success out of that, perfect. But there are a lot of paths where success does take a lot of time, and it doesn't hurt to branch out in other ways. I was head down in music, but I started a YouTube channel as well and realized I'm pretty good with a camera, I'm pretty good editing, and I was able to turn that into a career. And there are tons of people out there whose lives could be changed just by trying something new and seeing if they like it. So if a friend asks you to go play basketball, go play basketball. You may not be that good, you may not have ever played it before, but you may realize that there's something to this sport you actually like, and then you get an investment in sports. It doesn't mean that it has to be directly tied with what you found enjoyment in, but you can find a way to take that enjoyment and turn it into an income. Number 4, find a true role model. I'm not talking about your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever it may be. Those people are great life role models, but I'm talking about a professional role model, someone who you aspire to be like. So for me, I started following a lot of entrepreneurs and filmmakers that I really like. There's a lot of YouTube channels that I watched growing up that I thought were great, but they never really helped me professionally. And I'm not saying you have to give up everything fun, but start aligning your fun with things that are also of your interest that you would like to do. You will learn from these people just by studying their work. Number 5, practice what you're learning while you're learning it. This is a huge hang up for a lot of people, but it's the number one way to skyrocket your odds of success. It's honestly something I was hung up with. I was watching hours worth of content on how to build a business, hours worth of content of how to edit videos, how to edit photos. And when it came down to me actually starting to do it, I still sucked. Even though I had put my 10,000 hours in of learning, you still have to put that 10,000 hours in of actually doing it. If you watch a million videos on YouTube on how to rebuild an engine, I guarantee if you've not rebuilt one before, you will not know what you're doing once you get to it. A lot of people like to go by the 80-20 rule. For every 20% of something that you're learning, 80% of that should be you practicing or creating. So if I spend 2 hours in 1 week learning how to color grade or edit photos, I want to at least spend 8 hours actually putting that into practice and actually doing it. I promise you, if you take these 5 steps, if you stay focused, your life will look infinitely different in just a couple years than from where it looks now. And I know you hear just a couple years, I don't have time for that. You have nothing but time. You're not getting it back. You might as well give yourself a chance. No, you probably won't be a millionaire and you might live in the same rundown apartment, but you know what? You'll be at one with yourself, you'll have a sense of direction, and you'll have a fire for your passion. That's a dangerous combo. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe to stay up to date, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Also, yes, this is my office. I'm in the middle of an office build out. It's not exactly new, but I've been so busy with work, I haven't been able to build it out, which is why you're probably hearing echoes. So if you'd like to see the office build out coming soon, please subscribe. I'm gonna have that full video on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.